FC25 is here, and you all know what that means. New teams, new players, and a new desk because you just committed an act of terrorism with your PlayStation controller. It also means new features. So from clubs to career, foot to faces, here's every single new feature in the game in the amount of time that this video ends up being. So let's start off with the one thing that EA Sports cannot stop talking about. Volta. The rebrand. 5v5 Rush is the one thing that EA Sports are really pushing this year for FC25. People have been playing it already. It features in pretty much every other game mode that you can find. But is it just Volta the sequel? Well, if you're a fan of going clean through on goal, you're gonna love this one. There's more one-on-one action here than a Chatterbait subscription. They've changed the rules, really, of football with this one. Obviously, A, it's 5 versus 5. B, it's on much smaller pitches. And it's basically meant to be fast and frenetic. So with the name, I kind of was missold PPI a little bit. No, it is not Edison mode. They just really needed a name from the email chain. Urgent. What's another word for urgent? Yeah, fuck it, that'll do. A game starts with a rush to the center circle where the ball is. If you're Rafael Varane, you're getting there about 3 business weeks later. Offside is redefined as well. As in a change that has Arsene Wenger rolling around in his extremely oversized jacket. It isn't having the offside line behind the entire player, but instead offside only works in the attacking third of the pitch. You can be in a technically offside position as long as you're not behind the dotted lines shown here. So you can do a little bit of final third hanging rather than goal hanging, but it means there's a lot more open, really, each game, and you do end up with crazy counter-attacks. But you do also end up with every single goal looking the exact same. That is unless you're going to be scoring from a set piece, like a corner, which works exactly the same as normal, but set pieces, very different indeed. In fact, you have to take all of them quickly, whether it be a throw-in, whether it be a free kick, and they are all indirect. So you can't score directly from a free kick, meaning an effective end to use of James Ward-Prowse in this game mode. There are also no red cards. Instead, players get sin-binned with a new blue card, and they'll be off the pitch for 1 minute after a serious crime. Quick chat also features, which can get a little bit leery at times, dependent on what's going on. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, it kind of appears in every other game mode too. Play it in foot or in pro clubs, and you'll get like seasonal rewards based on how well you do, or if you build squads through certain objectives in Ultimate Team. Meanwhile, it can be used to develop young players in career mode. You got new youth tournaments now in manager mode, but you get your best young players. They face off against the youth players of other teams in the Premier League, like a Manchester City, Arsenal, United, etc. And they're used for development, basically mini games that you can use to make your youth academy hot prospects a little bit better. So if these are the only training drills that are going on in the under 21s, I think it's time to sack the youth coaches, because this is not a full day's work. It's a little bit more fun and entertaining, I think, than I thought it was gonna be in the video that I uploaded beforehand about FC25 potentially being a little bit dead. There's enough different stuff in it to show there was at least some like thought process and development behind it, like the different offside rules, like the cards, like the fact that positioning is completely different and a lot more fluid rather than players having set specific places that they need to be on the pitch. But given all of that, is it still a gimmick that's definitely going to get old within like 2 months probably? And you can't even skip these in career mode either, I'm pretty sure. You actually have to play them every single time, which is a little bit frustrating. I've got places to be, I've got things to do. That's a lie. I'm making a video on new features in the video game. One other thing that EA are pretty proud of going into this year was their new cranium technology. A new way basically of scanning players that don't have official head scans that were done like in real life in the game, and also a way to get like a whole like shed load of new like types of face for default managers or default players that don't have head scans at all. Your random 63 rated bronze player from the Swedish second division. They don't have the Swedish second division in the game, I'm sorry. But more importantly than all of that, more importantly than getting your new youth players more realistic faces and more unique ones or making people stand out, is the fact that you can make your characters and your players look absolutely clapped. I'm talking pro clubs, absolutely mashed up faces everywhere. I'm talking about managers who haven't been to a single NHS appointment in the last 25 years. There's face makeup, there's crazy trims, there's Osimhen masks. And if you really fancy recreating the bullying of your youth, you can even give yourself acne in your player career mode growing up as a youngster. On the topic of the youth, Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is a new feature on his own. He's very good and he's gonna slap up everybody in career mode. And speaking of the youth of career mode, Youth Academy scouting in the game mode has changed as well. Now, one thing that we've been asking for time, obviously I used to be a career mode YouTuber, one thing that people have been asking for ages was an improvement to youth scouting in the sense of being able to go and scout anywhere in the world. You used to be very limited to where you could go, the countries that you could actually scout in, and it meant that you got to a certain point in a career mode where you just had no players from those nations that weren't scoutable. Or just factually, it was impossible to scout in a nation that you maybe had a background from. Maybe you live in Bangladesh and you were never able to scout there. Well, now there's over 160 nations that you can scout in career mode. If you really want a new box-like shaped creature from Brunei Darussalam, you can have that if you want to. If you want to scout in Fiji, in Tonga, in the depths of Eastern Europe or Mongolia, you can do exactly that. But just beware that if you go to these nations that don't have many players in the game, the name pool is going to be, well, it's going to be limited. You're going to quickly find out that the same one male from Turkmenistan has illegitimate children across the entire nation, because you're going to get one surname and one surname alone. You can also scout specific roles as well. You're not able to scout like every single position in a nation anymore. You've got to kind of choose wisely. And also you get much younger players in your youth academies who can grow in terms of their height. So you can have a player that's like 4'11" that then grows to be taller because they're very young when you have them in the youth academy. I believe 13 and 14-year-olds are even scoutable, so just expect them to be starting for Barca after one season. Icons now feature in career mode. The likes of Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, R9 are playable. I think there's 7 in total. You can also set yourself to not being sacked, which is great for the guys that need that for career mode experiments on YouTube. And you can also give yourself transfer embargoes, aka 115 charges mode. Women's football is now in career mode, a little bit limited in what you can do because there's only the top 5 leagues, which is still pretty decent. Love the inclusivity, but obviously there's no relegation or promotion, so more leagues will be needed in future to really make that something that a lot of people will want to play or have a lot of longevity with. News segments have been revamped to even include the likes of Fabrizio Romano, who can give you a here we go on a player announcement on a transfer that you've known about for 2 months, aka what you usually get in real life. I will be making sure that I sack off transfers to ruin his reputation. Meanwhile, actual news outlets feature as well, and I'm looking forward to AFTV's inclusion and their depression when I slap up Arsenal 4-0 with Stockport County on semi-pro.
He has to go.
Live start points will be introduced to the game, where later on down the line in the season, you can join a career mode save at a point basically in real life that has been mimicked to give you a feel that you're starting like halfway through the real life season. Life's going to be difficult for Southampton fans when they start a save in December and they're already relegated.
I'm rapidly falling out of love with football. I just wonder what's the point anymore, you know.
Meanwhile, Rodri's going to be disappointed realising he can't play the game for another year. And in player career, you can even have origin stories, which sounds so dramatic. You can have a great expectations type of a career, a wonder kid, basically. A youngster who's got the weight of the world on his shoulders and try and carry out that storyline for them. You can have a climb to the top, I assume a Jamie Vardy style career, or a return to glory, aka the Niran edition, where you're an older player recovering from a serious injury that almost curtailed your entire career. If you're a fan of Napoli or Roma, congratulations, you lot are back in the game. If you're a fan of Italian football and you live in Milan, commiserations, you're not in the game. Pulisic's gonna be left fuming when he looks on the fixture list and sees Milan red versus Pirelli blue.
You don't know where I'm from, dog.
1 year of normal Serie A on FIFA. It'll never happen. Meanwhile, serious cutting edge development in the game. Jude Bellingham, well, they used the cutting edge actually on his socks, because the holes that he has to relieve pressure in his calves, they're in the game as well. I don't know who asked for that, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't me. In Ultimate Team, and contracts aren't in the game anymore. Pour one out for my fallen soldiers. To be honest, good thing. Genuinely, yeah, I don't even mind that. You can unlock cosmetic upgrades to some of your favorite cards, whether it be sound effects or how they look, animations that are added colors of your cards, which I to be honest, as an unk that plays this game, just give me gold, silver, bronze, team of the week and team of the season back. And player roles have also replaced work rates, which tell you certain traits that a player will have in a certain role, and obviously once they're familiar with that, it'll give you certain perks and a certain way to describe how they're going to perform out on the pitch. There's a new replay camera model system that's been implemented with like photo mode, but if you play it on PC, you'll open it and it'll crash your entire game immediately. And finally, pro clubs. There's actually quite a few features, like they've actually done things to clubs again, which is nice. There's definitely things that they didn't add that they could have done, but the clubhouse is a new feature, kind of like I guess like a central hub where you can see any changes that you made to your club in terms of the dressing room, colors, like a social area almost for all your players to come to. Rush once again features here, having its own division system and ranking. And then you've got facilities, something that isn't actually in career mode, even though it'd be extremely useful there, but is definitely going to be quite cool in pro clubs. Reading them off, you've got stuff like equipment managers, head groundsmen, performance analysts, scouts, psychologists. These range from 1-star facilities to 3-star facilities, and once you upgrade them, they'll upgrade certain attributes on all of the players in your squad. So your head groundsman, for example, if you go from 1-star to 3-star, that'll improve your attributes on ball control and balance, and the play style, press proven. Whereas a performance analyst will improve attributes when it comes to short passing and vision, and the playstyle being tiki-taka. So depending on how good your players are in certain areas, you might want to upgrade certain facilities where like the whole squad's lacking a little bit, or things that you think might be a little bit more important when it comes to the game. Either way, genuinely, for me, like actually, if it works properly, a very cool feature that I would like them to put into career mode too. That's it though. We've come to the end. Stop the clock watch on whatever it was. That's every single new feature that's coming to FC 25. Now, again, as I mentioned before, hype feels like it was a little bit low going into the game, but I'm seeing a lot of people playing it now. What do you make of all the features that have been added, whether it be the underrated ones or the blockbuster new things that you've known for like 2 months? Drop it down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see me play some FC 25 on the channel, let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, feel free to slap a like on the video. You can also subscribe if you're new to the channel for some more gaming content coming very soon. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves and goodbye.